Welcome to Dallas Chocolate Classes. I'm Chef Zach Townsend. How do we take our broken chocolate ganaches from sad and separated back to correct and creamy? In this video, I'll show you what happens when ganache breaks under 3 typical circumstances and reveal if a fix is possible for each. Chocolate ganaches, though simple in ingredients, are a complex system referred to as an emulsion, where the proportion of fats are evenly dispersed in the liquids from the recipe. Ganaches are referred to as broken when the fats become separated from the liquid. Ganaches can break when agitated or mixed at the wrong temperatures, or if too much fat is present. The appearance of a broken ganache can take different forms, from seriously gloppy and grainy, to slightly slimy, to fat floating on top, or a combination of these. The most common way we break our ganaches is simply by not having the fat to water ratio in our recipe correct. To make a ganache, we typically pour hot cream over our chocolate, stir, then, if our ratio of fat to liquid is not correct, we watch our ganache sadly not come together. This often happens when we try to switch to very high-fat chocolates, use too much chocolate, or use too little liquid. To fix this so that the fat-to-water ratio will be correct, we can slowly add additional amounts of warm liquid until there is enough liquid for the fats to be evenly distributed. When our fat-to-water ratio is finally correct, our ganache is fixed. A ganache whose balance of fat to liquid is correct and has been emulsified at an appropriate temperature is smooth, creamy, and shiny. Another common way we can break a ganache is by overheating it when we want to warm it again. The microwave is the easiest place to overheat our ganaches because of its quick and efficient way of heating foods. Here, this ganache was left on high in the microwave for almost 2 minutes. It has been so overheated that the temperature is actually beyond that of boiling water. Much too hot. It's so hot that the fats have now separated and pooled on top of the solids. Is it possible to save a ganache that this has happened to? I'll show you the results at the end of the video. For now, this ganache must be left to cool down. Freezing a ganache is a great way to store it, but to get it back to a usable consistency, we obviously have to thaw it, and it usually needs to be reheated, which can often cause it to break. To reheat a ganache without the risk of overheating it, a water bath with just very warm water is a great approach. We can warm the ganache slowly in this way and with great control of its temperature. A water bath with water generally around 136 degrees Fahrenheit is a great temperature that allows us to warm the ganache quickly, but without going too quickly. Stirring and manipulating our ganache at very low temperatures while reheating it, even when the ganache was previously perfectly emulsified, can cause it to break. This is normal until the ganache reaches an appropriate warm temperature, around 94 degrees Fahrenheit. Temperatures much lower than 94 degrees typically cause the ganache to separate when it's being stirred. At or slightly above 94 degrees Fahrenheit, stir the ganache quickly. If stirring is not bringing the emulsion back, then whisk it vigorously. This will work more air bubbles into it, which is not always ideal, but sometimes this whisking is necessary. If the ganache still looks broken, heat it until it's a little warmer than 94 degrees and whisk it vigorously until it's re-emulsified. Now back to our ganache that was overheated in the microwave. The ganache has now cooled to about 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see if we can re-emulsify it using a whisk. We were able to save it. Again, this was a ganache that was initially formulated with a proper ratio of fat to liquid. Overheating it did not ruin it in this case. Just let it cool but stay warm, then whisk it vigorously to bring it back together. However, you might want to taste it to ensure the overheating did not alter its flavor. We can now let our fixed ganaches sit undisturbed until fully set, with the satisfaction knowing we were able to save them and use them as intended. This is Chef Zach Townsend with Dallas Chocolate Classes. Watch more of my videos here. You can take an online or in-person class with me also. Just visit DallasChocolateClasses.com. Leave any comments or questions below this video and I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks for watching.